Mayor Craig Greenberg kicked off Plastic-Free July. A portion of Floyd Street is named in honor of former U of L Athletics Director Tom Jurich. And we'll take you on a tour of the new LMPD headquarters. All that and more on Louisville This Week. I'm John Ramsey, Director of City Partnerships. Due to an outbreak of copper wire theft in Louisville and across the country, Mayor Craig Greenberg created the Disruption of Critical Infrastructure Task Force. At his weekly press conference update, Mayor Greenberg shared how the task force is getting results.
That metal theft is just not about the damage. It creates a lot of damage. It can attack our infrastructure. It also can affect people's broadband. And this is kind of a drain on some of the resources. You know, the time we're working on that is time we could also be spending patrolling your neighborhoods. Things that we have done, we've put tamper systems on a lot of the highway infrastructure so that our officers are alerted and can respond quickly and promptly while this theft is in process so we can catch people committing these crimes.
So today I'm proud that we're launching a new public awareness campaign that has been led by my colleagues on the Critical Infrastructure Task Force to encourage the public to keep sending us tips as they already have. We all know that preventing copper theft enhances public safety. So please, if you see something, say something, and you can call Crime Stoppers if you have a tip. That's 502-582-CLUE.
The Mayor's Office for Sustainability is encouraging everyone to take part in Plastic-Free July.
On average, over 87,000 tons of plastic a year is collected in Louisville, most of which ends up in a landfill. Again, 87,000 tons of plastic. That's a big problem here. It's a big problem around the world. We want to encourage people to start using reusable products instead of disposable products.
I hear a lot about how Louisvillians are really concerned about the plastic pollution crisis, whether it's the visible litter that we see in our beloved parks or whether it's the invisible effects of microplastics and PFAS pollution that is in everything, including the deepest parts of the ocean to our bloodstream and breast milk. It's an issue that's on everybody's minds. The impact of Plastic-Free July is that we want to make this issue accessible for people. We don't want people to feel daunted by the issue, but know that any effort that you can take counts and that every individual and organization can do something about this.
In front of a huge crowd, Mayor Greenberg revealed the sign naming a portion of Floyd Street in honor of former U of L Athletics Director Tom Jurich.
It is a wonderful day to be a Cards fan, isn't it? Let's go Cards. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful to be here in Cardinal Park, to celebrate so much about where we are today. And for Tom, it started and it finished with hiring great people. And we were all so fortunate that the next 2 decades saw Tom hiring legendary coaches and a legendary athletic team to come to Louisville under his leadership. From Strong to McDonald, to Busboom Kelly, to Waltz, to Herman, to Patino, and so many more, Tom, you always had a wonderful eye for talent.
To be here this morning at this event, I am fully aware of what an important day this is for our great university and for this wonderful community. Being able to welcome Tom and his family back to campus and celebrating the amazing success that he has had is a great opportunity.
Well, this is not a piece of cake. I got off right here at the Cardinal Boulevard and it hit me hard. I haven't been back in 8 years. And this is a place I love dearly. This has never been a job to me. This was never a job to me, ever. You know, we had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but that's the world we live in.
It's time to get down to business, so please join me here as we can finally announce the honorary renaming of Floyd Street as Tom Jurich Way.
It's almost been 2 years since the old LMPD headquarters on 7th Street was demolished. Since then, LMPD staff has been working from the Edison Center and other locations throughout the city. But that'll soon change as renovations of the new LMPD headquarters at 601 West Chestnut Street allow for command staff to move in later this summer. Take a tour with Metro TV to learn more about the new space.
This is something I've been dreaming about since probably 2016 and been working on it since 2020 with Metro Facilities. So to see this come about, it's been very exciting for me personally, but I think it's going to be awesome for the city. Just a little bit of history here. The building itself was occupied by AT&T. Started back in the 70s, and it's been vacant for the better part of, I think, 10 years. It had been maintained well, but it just needed a fresh makeover. All the people that have helped us have done a great job. 700 people from the start of the project till now, and anywhere between 85 to 100 daily have been here on the job site working. You want to take a look around through this door first? This will be our large conference area. So this is going to be a meeting space that we're going to be able to accomplish to have at least 150 people in and have conferences here as well. So we need a larger space, and this is definitely going to accomplish that. I think it's right at 198,000 square feet. To give you an idea, our last headquarters I think was around 70,000 square feet. So this is going to allow us future growth and also meet our needs for the next 50 years. When we closed down old headquarters, we had to kind of shotgun blast everybody around the county as far as some people over here, some people over there, and it's kind of hard to be in command of those people if you never see those people, if you're stuck at an admin part. So getting everybody under one roof is really going to accomplish that. That was one of the suggestions the DOJ had for us. This is what a lot of our typical offices will look like. We'll have the open area where people can meet and also be able to talk freely as far as no walls in between them, no offices and things like that. So you can bounce ideas off of each other. We're going to be able to get approximately 400 officers in the downtown area. The lighting and everything is energy efficient. It's supposed to go off when nobody's occupying the room, so we can save energy that way. Same with the thermostat as well. Metro Facilities has been excellent to work with. They've kind of held our hand along the way and kind of shown us what we need and how we need to go about constructing this project. Problem that we've had in the past is with sound. So we try to make each room as quiet as possible. And this is one of the solutions that the architect came up with. It was a pretty low cost solution to fix our problem. The chief's office, which is the command staff, the admin, human resource, the AIB bureau, these should be moving in sometime later this summer. We're looking at maybe a late August or September move-in date for the 4th floor. This will be where our crime scene unit is located. It's easier on the loading dock when they bring in evidence. This is our boiler room with all new mechanicals. Everything in here was original, so we had to replace everything to make it more efficient, and some was not serviceable anymore, so we had to take all that out and go with some of the new, more efficient things. This is our mechanical room. So this is our air control, our air handlers. That was part of the demolition phase to take all this out and then put brand new ones in. These are all brand new. It was determined that the old ones weren't going to be serviceable anymore, so we needed brand new ones. So this is going to be able to keep us cool, and it makes me feel like I'm a little kid again just looking at this stuff. We want to go to the roof real quick and take a look at it. Watch your step. Got a pretty nice view up here. Half of it was the original, the other half was replaced in 1990. So they went ahead and completely did a brand new roof, so we're not going to have any leaking issues. But as you can see, it's also a lighter colored where we're going to have it as a more efficient roof. So this is definitely a noticeable difference.
One of the biggest cranes on the East Coast has said that.
That's a 20-ton chiller. The old one just was not serviceable anymore, and we needed to replace it. And that was put on there about a month ago. We're very excited and appreciate everybody's hard work that they've done on this to make this come true. I'm very excited where it is right now. Like I said, I've been thinking about this for almost a decade now. So to see it come about is very exciting. Hopefully it'll be here for the next 50 years, and everybody on the whole department as a whole wants to say thank you. So we appreciate everything.
Mayor Greenberg honored Ramiro's food truck with a proclamation for their donation of food to our local first responders.
So there is a proclamation that you're going to give, and from what I understand, it's somewhat of a surprise.
Ramiro, I know this is a surprise to you, but I wanted you to know that today, in honor of everything that you and your colleagues are doing, we are proclaiming today as Ramiro's Cantina Day across the entire city of Louisville.
Thank you so much.
for what you do.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Creating a safer, stronger Louisville is something we all want, regardless of where we live, from the police chief to those working in the most impacted neighborhoods. Councilman Ben Reno Weber sat down with a few individuals working to help make that happen on the newest installment of Metro Council Chronicles.
As the Metro Council person for District 8, I fully recognize that there are issues that pop up in our district that are about much more than just our district. When we look at issues of safety, of crime, a lot of this is happening for people who don't live near where we are, but the implications of their actions affect all of us. And that's why, as a council person, I'm so invested in our engagement with the sorts of programs and opportunities that make our entire city stronger, better, more welcoming, more inclusive, and more hopeful. So excited to be able to highlight some of those things that we're doing as a city with LNPD, with the Office for Violence Prevention, with nonprofits.
A lot of our youth believe, like I said, there's no hope. There's no resources out here. I can only do this. I can only do that. Now, knowing that there's a million resources out there, they have options. A lot of our youth don't know they have options.
What stands in the way of somebody thriving? What stands in the way of them reaching their potential?
Lack of education, lack of attention, lack of love. So from there, they tend to go to your friends, and then your friends tend to go to the streets. Yeah. And so what we're here to do is kind of be those mentors that's willing to kind of give you hope if you want it. I have clients on my caseload now that maybe don't really want to change, but because I understand that and we have that relationship where I might still be that lifeline that he wants to call to ask me something or to tell me anything or whatever, just to vent, be that therapeutic person that he can just vent and talk to. He can't talk to his mother, can't talk to, don't go to school, so he don't know the teachers.
A lot of our youth don't have positive black role models.
Yeah.
So that's very important. We are those big brothers. We are those mentors. We are the people that can talk to them and not be judgmental, to show compassion and patience. A lot of our youth needs patience and they want to be heard.
OVP has the blueprint to say how do you get disengaged from the gang and how they actually support them through their long-term case management program they have.
Talk a little bit about your background and how you got into this work.
Just kind of growing up in the Smoketown community, growing up kind of seeing the inequities that's going on and just kind of motivating me to want to be a positive asset to my community. What really kind of made me full-time, honestly, once I finished playing ball in college, was I lost my best friend to gun violence in 2015.
Just wanted to be able to give back and restore hope. I come from a very rough environment, and a lot of kids don't think they can get out of it, or they think they have to do certain things to change their environment. But I just want to be able to show the youth that you can work hard and you can change your life by doing the right things.
And it allows them to see that they are more than just the gun that they carry in their hand. It allows them to understand that you have skills. Some of these skills are transferable skills that you can bring into the workforce.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to meet them where they're at and tell them that, like, you can grow. Sometimes starting at that entry-level job doesn't always seem worth it when you're coming from a lifestyle that may be more fast. But you have to show them that the skills that they're going to build, the lifestyle that they're going to have, the safety that they're going to provide to their parents now and their families, saying that I have a legit job that's 9 to 5 and I can make sure that I can grow in this and build a profession in this and maybe take this to go somewhere else. You're giving them a chance to actually pour into themselves and say, I believe in myself. And that's something sometimes people don't always get to see.
And I think a lot of it we need to hear from them personally, direct, consistently.
Yeah.
The 1 or 2 hours they within the programs of our agencies, they still got the other 18 to 20 hours the rest of the day to go back to some of the environments. Really just kind of helping them get a full understanding of processing life. We like to be able to show them that they have a village to be able to start with and have a rapport to say, hey, look, we've been there. We believe in second chances.
Can you guys talk a little bit about what the interconnections are between the outreach work that you're doing and then what's happening with Goodwill?
I love the fact that Goodwill Industries is a part of the actual Pivot to Peace network. And to be a part of that Pivot to Peace network, we all have our own roles. Our big role is mediation. We have to be able to talk to the people, and that's why we hire credible people to go back into the communities and help. It means that you have to be comfortable being in kind of high stakes situations and saying, let's bring both parties together and let's figure out what we can do to ensure that guns are not involved. Another part of our job is to refer people to resources. And that's because when someone says they're ready to change their life, our role is to give them the opportunity. So that's when we bring them into the network, our Pivot to Peace network. Before law enforcement gets involved, what can we do to support them and get them out of the streets where they don't do something that's going to impact their life forever? And that's the collaboration we have.
We deal with the symptoms and the outcomes of them, but obviously there's a lot that occurs before and there's a lot that occurs after contact with law enforcement. And so when you think about our role in a lot of this, we're often the first point of contact between someone who has an issue and the ability to get help. And so when you look at our crime plan, that third part of our crime plan, that sustained focus improvement, really is about how we act as a liaison between connecting people in the community with the proper resource that they need. So while we focus primarily on other governmental resources in that crime plan, so things like public works to make sure that we're cleaning up trash and graffiti and or getting houses boarded or getting street lights fixed. There's also part of the mayor's larger public safety plan that is focused on making sure that we have a connection between metro government, the police, and a lot of those nonprofits that do that work before we ever get to the point that the police are needed, or picking up the mantle after. We're a part of a bigger picture. We're just one cog in the wheel of how can we make this a better place to live, work, develop your businesses, raise your kids, so that it's improved the quality of life for all of us.
I know you have been a huge proponent of deflection and mental health services for longer than we've had this program. Can you talk a little bit about what role you see deflection playing as it connects to LMPD?
Right. I think deflection is a critical tool for us because we always want to send the people with the proper skill set to the right emergency. And when you're talking about people in mental health crisis, people go to school for years for that. It shouldn't be expected that a police officer who has so many other roles to fulfill is going to be the right resource for that in all situations. So when you look at our deflection program, it went live completely across the county last year. All 8 police divisions, all of the small cities it's available for 24 hours a day.
That's awesome.
I know by the end of the year they had deflected over 3,000 calls for service that otherwise would have come to the police department. So that is us getting, as a city and a community, the right resource to the right people at the right time. And that's really what it's about. Obviously, not every mental health crisis run can go through the deflection program, where people present a danger to others that we have to respond to. And so we'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to train through our CIT program and some other things.
One of the things that we've heard is, in the previous couple of years, there just wasn't a lot of time to do training, to do investigations, to be proactive. But now that staffing levels are catching up, that, as you talked about, there's less immediate crisis response. What does that look like in terms of how officers are spending their time?
When you look at something like homicide investigations, a homicide investigation is long, manpower intensive. You're talking about tying up a patrol division for several hours. Then you're talking about tying up that investigative unit for days and days on that one homicide. When that violent crime rate goes down, it gives all of those officers, but particularly those detectives, time to work leads, time to follow up on things and not rush through. You see increases in solving our homicides. You see clearance rates go up, which means that it's less likely to result in the next shooting. Because if we can get people off the street that are bad actors before somebody else gets them or before they commit the next one, then it has this cascading effect of continuing to decrease the violent crime rate.
If you could wave a magic wand and change something, what would it be?
If we could change one thing, I would say it would be, let's bring an extra $1 billion worth of industry here to Louisville Metro, because the cascading effects of that would affect our education system, it would affect our healthcare system, our housing system, and ultimately have this effect on crime, that would drive crime down because people would be more prosperous, more taken care of.
Our youth need resources. They need resources in the summertime. We need more community centers, more summer programs where the kids can go have fun and be safe.
Consistency is what I would say, a magic wand. Whatever that would take to be consistent. The biggest thing is us all kind of coming together to really help deter and slow some of this stuff down.
Guys, I'd sit and talk to you all day. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the work that you guys do.
Thank you, no problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the work you do.
Good Belly Sandwich Shop is dishing out more than just delicious meals this plastic-free July. Co-owner Jessica Bookin is leading the restaurant's charge towards sustainability. From compostable packaging to reusable serviceware, Good Belly is proving that eco-conscious dining can be both flavorful and forward-thinking.
Hello, I'm Jess. I'm the co-owner of Good Belly Sandwich Shop here in the Douglas Loop of the Highlands. We are a New York deli influenced sandwich shop, so what you're going to find here is a lot of scratch-made ingredients. We really wanted to make a stand and not use styrofoam. It's definitely the easier and the cheaper way for restaurants, but for me, it was kind of a heartbreaking thing to do. We do a lot of takeout, so here at the shop, we've continued the practices from the food truck and using the compostable sandwich boxes and sides boxes as much as we can to use paper products as well. For me, it's more about helping than trying to save $1 at the end of the day. The challenges are the price. Unfortunately, products that are good for the environment are 10 times more expensive than products that are not good for the environment. As an example, one of our takeout boxes can cost me about 25 cents, whereas a styrofoam box may cost 2 cents. So it's certainly an investment on our part, but we try to make up for it in other ways. By doing everything from scratch, we're able to really control costs otherwise. In the restaurant, when you dine with us, you're going to get a real plate, a real glass, real silverware. That's important to us, not only because it's helping the environment, but also we want our guests to have a great experience. And I think when you're served food on a ceramic plate, it feels a lot more professional and you feel like you're at a real restaurant. I think it's important to take a look at the entire picture of your business. Do all of your inventories of your food, your paper, your beverages, so on and so forth, and see where you can make changes, changes that will actually sustain you for the better. If you can take one item that you maybe bought from one of your food purveyors and turn that into something that you can make from scratch, you'd be amazed at the impact that you can have all around. And I think from the customer standpoint, it's important to remember that if you have tableware at home that you're going to eat that soup with or that side with, go ahead and tell the restaurant, oh, hey, I don't need any utensils, because every little piece that we put into that bag is going to go into the garbage at some point.
Mayor Greenberg is keeping the public informed with his weekly Mayor's Minute.
Happy 4th of July, Louisville. While you're enjoying this holiday, here's a look back at our week. Last October, we formed the Critical Infrastructure Task Force to tackle copper wire theft. We've already made many arrests and need you to keep helping us so we can have more. If you see something, say something, and please call Crime Stoppers, as qualified tips can earn up to $5,000. We also celebrated the first Dutch Bros location in Louisville. It's on Taylorsville Road. It's great for all types of drinks and encourage you to check it out. And don't forget Food Truck Wednesdays downtown. This week it was great to present the owner of Ramiro's with a proclamation to thank him for serving our volunteers and first responders during the community flood cleanup at Waterfront Park as part of the World Central Kitchen efforts. And finally, Rachel and I hope you join our family at Waterfront Park as we gather together for an unforgettable community 4th of July celebration and fireworks show. We'll also be at Riverview Park on Saturday night for fireworks and another great musical celebration. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it, we hope you all have a safe and great holiday weekend.
You're never at a loss for something to do in Louisville. Roseanne Maston with Louisville Tourism has suggestions for what you might enjoy this month.
Hi, I'm Roseanne Maston with Louisville Tourism. Here are a few things happening around Louisville this week. You'll find a variety of Independence Day celebrations taking place around Bourbon City. The Louisville Bats will kick off the party on July 3rd with a post-game fireworks show after taking on the Indianapolis Indians. Head to Kentucky Kingdom July 3rd through 5th for their Bluegrass and Booms. Listen to the rich bluegrass sounds of Kentucky Blue before experiencing the evening music and pyrotechnic performance starting around 10 p.m. Celebrate Independence Day on the banks of the Ohio River at Louisville's Waterfront Park, 4th of July, which kicks off at 5 p.m. on the Great Lawn. The annual celebration will feature free musical entertainment, family activities, local food trucks, and a professional fireworks display taking place around 9:45 p.m. You can also enjoy a night in Paristown on July 4th to catch their free outdoor 4th of July artisan market. That night, a ticketed concert will feature the Crashers rocking the Paristown stage, along with a donut hole eating contest sponsored by Jeff Donuts. Make sure to stick around for the fireworks show kicking off around 9:45 that night. Celebrate Independence Day with the July 4th cruise on the Ohio River, departing on the Belle of Louisville. Enjoy scenic views, live music, and fireworks from the water. Join the Louisville Red, White, and Brew bar crawl on July 5th for patriotic fun across downtown's best bars and breweries. Find out more details about these events and others at gotolouisville.com. Just click on the calendar of events.
We went out on the streets of Louisville to see how people celebrate Independence Day.
And my favorite way to celebrate the 4th of July is I have a friend that lives down the south end of Louisville, and they host a big party every year, and I take my kid over there and we do sparklers until it's too dark for kids to be out, and then we shoot off the big fireworks, and then we go to bed by midnight.
We have a large family gathering at my nephew and niece's house in the swimming pool, and just to have a lot of fun, food, games, basketball, swimming, just getting together with the family, and then of course fireworks at the end. But that's what we do. I'm the youngest of 7, so you can imagine the family is fairly large. So just getting together and celebrating the 4th and celebrating each other.
We'll be at the Big Four Bridge and Hunters Creek fireworks, and then I will personally be in Nashville, downtown, for the 4th of July celebration. So we're taking one of the food trucks over there. But of course, I love the crowd. I like it when it's busy, and of course at night, the fireworks.
Well, we go to celebrate together. We go to the waterfront park. Yep, to the waterfront park. Look at the fireworks, patronize down there.
On the 4th of July, we're going to have a big pool party. I've got a built-in pool, family and friends. That's the only way to celebrate the 4th. And then my husband spent an insane amount of money on fireworks. So we'll be having fireworks in our court for the whole neighborhood.
I celebrate the 4th with my family, and this year we'll be attending a pool party at my cousin's house. So it'll be a good time.
So when I celebrate the 4th, what I like to do is have the kind of fireworks where you can lose a foot or lose a digit. In fact, last year I lost a thumb. So I can only hitchhike south now. I can't go north because I lost this thumb. So I like to have a lot of fun with fireworks, and make sure it's nice and dangerous.
Thank you for watching Louisville This Week. Please share Metro TV with your family and friends and ask them to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and download our app on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Have a wonderful week.